Hello, welcome to day one of the alcohol experiment. It's the first official day of the alcohol experiment. I hope you are feeling well and feeling confident. And if you're not, I hope you know that you can do this. You can do this. You can so do this. You can so do this. Um, I hope you're feeling supported. Make sure you're getting support. I'm going to dive into day one, which is titled, What's Your Why? And it starts with a quote. The best day of your life is the one on which you decide your life is your own. No apologies or excuses. No one to blame. The gift is yours. It is an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. Bob Moawad. Moad. Bob Moad. Good old Bob. It's beautiful and that's so true. So I hope that even if like today's difficult and there's a lot of cravings or urges, uh, I hope that you can like recenter with the knowing that this is an experiment. It's not forever. You can do anything for 30 days, and recentering with like that empowerment and that belief that like whatever your situation is, it could be better. And that's wonderful. So, like I said yesterday, if you didn't read or if you didn't listen to the introduction, you got to listen to the introduction. There's a lot of good stuff in there. This chapter's pretty short. Um, I'm reading straight from. Oh, let me check something. Sorry. Yeah, okay. So we've got a pretty short chapter, and then we've got like an um activity. I wouldn't call it an activity. An act example, an example of the awareness, clarity, turnaround formula that Annie Grace has. So I'm reading straight from Annie Grace's book. If there is a time where I will be interjecting my own thoughts, I'll make it clear that I'm like shifting voices. But let's get into it. Day one. We've talked about how you've been unconsciously conditioned to believe alcohol is a vital part of life for relaxing, socializing, and everything in between. And you know there are competing desires inside your mind. Your conscious mind wants to drink less or even stop drinking completely. And your subconscious mind believes you need to keep drinking for some very good reasons. Before we dive into those beliefs and stories and deciding if they're true, we need to know what those beliefs actually are. After reading literally thousands of stories from people who've gone through this process, I'm pretty sure I know what your beliefs are. But that's not important. What's important is that you know what they are. So let's start this experiment by writing a list. Why do you drink? Write down a list of every reason you drink. There's no judgment here. We simply want a list. To get you going, here's a look at part of my list. You might have some of the same reasons. Work is stressful, and drinking helps me relax after a long day. Drinking helps me be more creative on the job. Drinking helps me be more outgoing at networking events. Drinking is important to my social relationships. I love the taste of wine. Don't stop with just a few reasons. Keep going until you can't think of any more. You might come up with 50 or 100 reasons, and that's fine. You've brought your subconscious beliefs up to the surface of your mind. Now we can shine a light on them, examine them, and you can decide for yourself whether those beliefs are true. And you can make that decision based on the facts, not social conditioning from the media and your peers. Don't do anything with this list right now. Don't try to change your mind. At this moment, these are your beliefs, and they're currently true in your life. As I present you different ideas over the next 30 days, you may think about this list differently. Why the alcohol experiment? Okay, Next, I want you to pull out another piece of paper and make a second list. Write down all the reasons you want to take part in this experiment. Why do you think you might want to drink less? Here's a peek at my list. I'm tired of waking up slightly hungover. I no longer want to worry that I said something stupid the night before. I am sick of the internal dialogue about my drinking. I'm tired of thinking about drinking. I'm going to interject here as Melissa. That was such a huge thing for me as I was like in my last month or like 3 months probably um, of drinking. I noticed I was thinking about drinking all the fucking time. I was either currently drinking or drunk, but I never really felt drunk, right? I just like, because my tolerance was so high. Um, or I would wake up the next day and feel shame about my drinking and try to like recount how many drinks I had had and had I said anything stupid and like just so much shame about it all. And then like by midday, that shame would not matter anymore, apparently, or it would go away. Not really, but I would forget about it. And my thinking would be, okay, when am I going to drink and how am I going to drink and how is it going to look today? So it was like constant, fucking constant thinking about drinking. Um, Wake up in the morning, feel shame, questioning, just devastation. That would transform in the afternoon into how am I going to drink? When am I going to drink? How much am I going to drink? Who am I going to do it with? Where are we going to go? Et cetera, et cetera. Um, and then, the whole rest of the afternoon or evening and night is, spent drinking, being drunk, having an argument, um, etc. So that is a huge one for me. Anyway, back to the book. These are the reasons that Annie Grace wanted to drink less. I saw a photo of myself out with friends and my teeth looked purplish from the wine. It was disgusting. I look back on certain days and my memories are so fuzzy. I'm afraid I am missing my life because I can't clearly remember it all. Today, read over both your lists and notice how they are in conflict with each other. This is the whole source of your cognitive dissonance. It's the battle going on in your mind all the time, written in your own words. Over the coming weeks, it might help you to picture these lists on either side of a seesaw or a balance. Right now, the first list might be longer than the second one. In a few weeks, check back in to see if the balance has shifted at all. Day 1 journal questions. Remember, all the wisdom you seek is actually inside you. The most important words in this experiment are the ones you tell yourself. Take some time and answer these questions in here or in this book, answer these questions in a separate journal, which is most effective, in a voice memo to yourself, or simply by speaking the answers out loud for only you to hear. Number 1, why you drink, your big list. Reflect and read over each reason you wrote down. How do they make you feel? What reasons do you wish weren't there? If you could take an eraser to your brain and change some of these reasons and thoughts, would you? Number 2, what's your why? Why do you want to take part in the alcohol experiment? Why do you want to take a break? To drink a bit less in the future? Have a look at my list and make your own. Dig deep on why you are doing this in the first place. Number 3, let's get excited. Allow yourself to dream. If this experiment delivered everything it promised, what would that look like in your life? How would you feel at the end of 30 days or a year from now? What would have changed in your life? Don't focus on the pain of what you don't have, but allow yourself to feel hope and focus on the joy of what is yet to come. ACT, I don't know if I should say ACT or ACT. Maybe I'll say ACT. ACT number 1, the taste of alcohol. Note, the idea of the ACT technique, awareness, clarity, turnaround, is to give you an alternate perspective. It is an exercise to help you resolve your external or internal disagreement around alcohol. First, we'll become aware by naming a belief you have about drinking. Then we'll gain clarity around that belief, looking at where it came from and how you may have picked it up without even knowing it. We'll also look at the internal and external evidence that supports that belief or doesn't. Finally, we'll decide if the belief holds true through a turnaround. We will look at the opposite of the belief and decide if the opposite is as true or truer than the original belief. When this process is complete, you get to decide if you still believe this and, more important, if that belief is serving you or if your life could be better by simply letting it go. No matter what you decide, you will gain new perspective. The whole idea is to play detective and look at the evidence from an objective opinion. What's your all time favorite drink? The one you can't wait to get your hands on at the end of a long day or on Friday night. I bet if you think about it hard enough, you can even taste it right now. Taste is an innocent reason for drinking. After all, no one thinks twice about eating ice cream or nachos. They taste good. And our favorite alcoholic beverages are the same way. But for the sake of this experiment, let's dig a little deeper. Awareness. Many people tell me they really like the taste of their favorite drink. I get it. I was a red wine girl all the way. Maybe you're a margarita lover, or maybe you enjoy the taste of a good scotch on the rocks. Let's name this belief. I drink for the taste. An interjection from Melissa. Beer. Beer, 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 baby, beer. Craft beer, 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 beer. I'm an IPA girl. I love IPAs. I love sours. The brewery right down the street from us releases a new sour every Friday. I love beer. I will. I'm Beer's good. It's good. It's fun. Going to breweries is fun. Trying different flights is fun. It's fun. So the belief is I drink for the taste. I really grappled with this one. I drink because I love beer, right? So hopping back in. I know a woman who drinks a shot of Bailey's in her coffee every morning before she drives her kid to school. She doesn't think it's a big deal. It's just a thought and nothing, sorry, it's just a shot and nothing else makes her coffee taste as good. Her concerned husband tried to get her to try Bailey's flavored coffee creamer, but she insists it doesn't taste the same. But if you think about it, she's not actually tasting a lot of alcohol. It's mostly the flavorings, cream, and sugar. So, what do you think? Is she truly enjoying Bailey's just for the taste? Or is there something else going on? Clarity. In order to gain clarity around your beliefs, you need to look back at the past and figure out why you have this belief in the first place. Where did it come from? There are no right or wrong answers here, and everyone is different. So ask yourself, what observations and experiences have you had in your past that might have made you believe alcohol tastes good? Maybe it's something as simple as watching your parents pour themselves a drink at the end of the day, or observing how they drank glass after glass in the evening. Why in the world would they drink it all the time if it tasted so bad? They're smart, right? They're grown-ups, so it must taste good, or they wouldn't keep drinking it. I have a friend from France whose parents made sure she drank a little wine with dinner from the time she was 8 years old. She hated how it tasted and told her parents so frequently. But they continued to press on, saying she would appreciate the taste when she got older. The implication was when she became more mature and grown up, she would enjoy the taste of wine. We all want to appear more grown up when we're kids, don't we? Sure enough, over time, my friend became a great wine lover and now drinks it every night. Think back to your first drink and remember the experience. What were you drinking? Maybe it was wine at dinner when you were young. Maybe it was champagne on New Year's Eve when you were allowed to stay up until midnight for the first time. Maybe you snuck into your parents' liquor cabinet with a friend on a dare. Or maybe it wasn't until much later. Maybe your first beer was in college. Regardless of when it was, think back to your first sip. Did you actually like it? Or did you choke and sputter, or maybe even spit it out? Who was with you at that time? Was it a friend you wanted to impress? Was it a parent you wanted to make proud? Were you trying to find a place to fit in with a new group of people? If you're like the vast majority of people I talk to, your first experience tasting alcohol was not pleasant. You didn't like it. But someone was there to say, "Don't worry, it's an acquired taste. You'll get used to it." So take a few minutes to write down where your taste from alcohol came from. What was it like the first time you tried a new beer or hard liquor? Was it always an amazing taste you immediately loved? Did you acquire the taste over time? Or did you fake liking it because you wanted to impress someone? Now that you have an idea where your beliefs came from, let's play detective and look at the internal and external evidence. This evidence will help you decide whether your belief that you like the taste of alcohol is true or whether you've been fooling yourself. People have some pretty intense reactions when they taste alcohol for the first time. They talk about it burning on the way down. They wrinkle up their nose because it doesn't even smell good. Their eyes start watering. They might even spit it out. Why? One of the major reasons we don't like the taste of something is because it's harmful to us. We don't like the taste of rotten food because it can make us sick. Well, what's going on when you have a hangover? You're sick. Our taste buds react negatively to alcohol to protect us from a harmful substance. Let's think about the idea of acquiring a taste for something. Whatever your drink of choice is, you probably didn't like it immediately, but your body allowed you to get used to it. Why? Because your brain assumes you have no choice in the matter. If you did, it would make no sense for you to keep drinking. So your body does the logical thing. It makes it easier for you to deal with the taste. You acquire it, which, if you think about it, it's the same thing as becoming immune to the alcohol. Let's look at it another way. My brother has a goat farm, and whenever I walk into the barn, there's an intense, unpleasant odor. As my sister in law says, it smells very goaty. But guess what? My brother and his family don't even notice the smell anymore because they've gotten used to it. They have to go into the barn to feed the goats, so their brains no longer register the odor. That doesn't mean that they like it, but they have over time gotten used to it. If you did happen to love the first taste of your first drink, it was probably something fruity or creamy that has more sugar than anything else. Am I right? Some drinks go down more easily than others. Straight alcohol is ethanol, the same stuff you put in your gas tank. A few sips will make you vomit, and a few ounces of pure alcohol will kill you. A few ounces of pure ethanol will kill you. I think it's safe to say you would never go suck the end of a gas pump nozzle because it tastes good. No matter what your favorite drink is, the alcohol makes up only a small percentage of the liquid. The rest is flavorings, sugar, carbohydrates, and other additives. Now, of course, there are things we appreciate as adults that we did not appreciate as children. We clearly grow a more refined palate as we age, but let's not kid ourselves. If we were purely drinking for the taste, we would certainly find other substitutes that are similar and wouldn't cause any of the side effects alcohol causes. I am intolerant to gluten, and I've managed to find plenty of substitutes that aren't exactly the same, but are now a natural part of my life and don't create the stomach pain that gluten does. The fact is, ethanol doesn't taste good. Consider this: when scientists want rats or mice to drink alcohol for a study, they have to force feed them because they will not naturally opt to drink it. So, are you honestly drinking for the taste? If not, then why are you drinking it? You've almost certainly observed characters in the movies and on TV enjoying the taste of alcohol or giving a satisfying burp and a smile after chugging a beer. Even if the actors are actually drinking whiskey flavored tea, the message still gets across. It tastes good. We all tend to choose our alcohol to match our identities. If we're refined and classy, maybe we drink red wine. Or if we like old cowboy movies, maybe we lean toward whiskey. Of course, if you're an international spy, you've got to order a martini, shaken, not stirred. We identify with the characters and tend to like the same drinks they like. I used to love chugging Guinness and was so proud of my chugging ability. It made me feel tough and like one of the boys in that masculine work environment. Maybe you see yourself as a discerning wine lover and your cellar has become a status symbol. If that's the case, you probably pride yourself on your ability to discern the toasty, smoky, oaky flavors with their fruity or floral overtones or whatever. Here's a fun fact: the American Association of Wine Economists conducted a study of more than 6,000 wine drinkers. In this blind taste test, they discovered that people cannot tell the difference between cheap wine and expensive wine. In fact, most people preferred the taste of the cheaper varieties. And you know what else? The same blind research later found that people can't tell the difference between pate and dog food. Now that one I believe. Just kidding. So, what about the argument alcohol enhances the taste of my food? Do we say that about other beverage and food combinations? People say milk enhances the taste of cookies, but could that be because we physically dip cookies into milk? No one dips their steak into their wine glass. The truth is, alcohol is actually an anesthetic. It numbs our ability to taste, making it more difficult to savor our food. Imagine we could remove all the physical and emotional effects of alcohol. If it couldn't actually make you drunk, would people still drink it? There's a body of pretty convincing research suggesting that they wouldn't. It tastes bad, it's poisonous. Drinking for the taste is a convenient, innocent excuse. At the end of the day, it is a possibility that there's something more going on with your drinking than just the taste. Humans are incredibly adept at lying to themselves and believing their own stories. It's possible that you actually do love the taste of a cool, frosty margarita. But is it really the alcohol you like? You may have not tried a delicious virgin margarita, but the truth is, they taste just as good, maybe even better. And you'll be surprised and empowered by how much you enjoy yourself without the tequila or the hangover. Turnaround. This may be the most important part of the ACT technique. Here, you want to dig into the turnaround, or the opposite of the belief. You'll want to take the time to come up with as many ways as you can, at least 3, that the turnaround is as true or truer than the original belief. In this case, the opposite of I drink for the taste is I don't drink for the taste, or maybe even I don't like the taste. Now it's your turn to come up with as many ways as you can that the turnaround is true in your life. So for me, like I spent a moment before saying how much I love beer. I'm a beer girl. I love the IPAs. I love the breweries. I love all that. And it's true. I don't drink for the taste. If it uh, if it didn't get me drunk, I would never have. I would never drink it. There are a million better things to drink that are less sugary and carby and gluteny so that's very true for me. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you're doing well on day 1. Celebrate yourself. If I can make a suggestion, it would be to get some sort of exciting replacement, whether that's tea or like I didn't drink sparkling water until I needed like some sort of replacement for alcohol. We also really love the company is Izzy. They just make fruity flavored drinks. I love going to Torchy's Tacos and getting a virgin margarita with salt around the rim and all. Give yourself some sort of replacement. Yeah, and that's all. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, and congratulations on your first day sober in the sober experiment. Much love. See you later.